Hi Ranger fans, this is Cupwater03 for MorphinLegacy.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new Legendary Zords from the Super Megaforce line. I have the Zeo Racer, the Mystic Dragon from Mystic Force, and the Delta Runner one from SPD. So these are basically auxiliary Zords, and they combine with the Megazord as well as being Zords by themselves. So I'm going to do these three, combine them with the Megazords, and then I'm also going to compare the US versions with the Japanese versions. Alright, so here we have the Japanese and American versions of the same thing, basically. So this is Pat Stryker from Gokaiger, and this is the Delta Runner 1 from Super Megaforce. So as you can see, the American version, is kind of solid looking. The wheels do spin, so that's good. There are no lights and sounds, and a lot of the paint has been lost. So take a look here. You can compare them together. They lost the rainbow in the front. They lost the SPD mark on the back. The translucence of the lights is gone. There's no Gokaiger symbol anymore, no pirate symbol. But the most important thing that it lost was the lights and sounds, which were my favorite part of Pat Stryker. So here's a test. Yeah, so those are the two differences between those cars. So this one actually has lights and sounds from the Gokaiger Mecha, and this one doesn't. It still combines almost exactly the same way, so I'm going to show you how to combine it. Okay, and up next is pretty simple. Basically, we're going to go with the peg system, which is these little pegs on the legs and on the jet. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a little bit, and the wheel as well. But those pegs are going to work for us for combining this. So I don't know what this Megazord is called yet. I'm assuming it's called the SPD Megazord or something like that. I don't know. But let's combine them for now. Let's take this apart. So it really comes apart really easily, like that. You're gonna have those four parts: the front and the chest. So that's the chest, but we won't worry about that in a second. So the weirdest part for me was putting the guns on top. So these guns go up top like this, and I kept pushing the stupid peg up, and there we go. So you did it again here. Kind of push down, then you're good. All right. So there's that. That's what the top looks like for that, and these go as well, and they're gonna face out. Look, I have it. See these little black parts here? They're going to face out. And that goes into the subs port. And so does this one. Into the yellow Zords port. Okay, so that's what it should look like first in one of the forms of this. And of course, I have a Ranger key in the back of the Megazord, which opens the front like that. And here he goes inside like that. Also, don't forget to fold down the little pegs right here, otherwise it won't go into the center of the Megazord and it won't fit. So just... Oh, well that worked for me. That was supposed to come off anyways. There we go. Well, that's the SPD Legendary Megazord version. I don't quite know what the name of it is yet. This one does have another version, which is actually cooler. I'll only show you on one arm just to save some time. But you got to get, here's a little fold up right here. There we go. Got to get your nail in there. There, and it kind of makes like a little handle. So the Megazord's going to hold onto it like this, like a gun. And I just realized I did that backwards. So we have fun on these reviews. So I did that backwards. I knew I was going to end up doing it backwards. So, yeah, but that goes like, you get the idea. It goes like this. And then it goes in the racer's hand, and he has a gun now. So you can have the blasters on the arms, or you could have the blaster in his hand. One of the two. So I'm going to show you the Gokaiger, Deca Gokaiger combination just for a quick comparison. Okay, and here are the comparison. Obviously, on the left here is the Legendary Megazord, and here on the right is Gokaiger. So, as you can see, you can still see Gokaiger and not all the stuff. So the reason is, like I said before, the compartments here hold these things in the Japanese version. Another thing that's cool is when you twist the back of this. So yeah, all these things are supposed to open like that. It kind of looks like that in the show, but not really. One thing I can say about that was easier with Gokaiger was that these little pieces are color-coded, and if these had been color-coded, I wouldn't have made that mistake I made earlier in the video. So that makes it a little easier. So I have to say that Deca Gokaiger is vastly cooler than this one. It's still cool to look at, I mean, because it's SPD, but the Deca Ranger stuff was cooler. I just love the sound effects. So okay, so I like it more. Here is the Mystic Dragon from Power Rangers Super Megaforce, and here is the Magi Dragon from Gokaiger and Magi Ranger, both. So let's just compare them before I combine them with the Megazord. So here's the Japanese version. Obviously, there's a lot more paint detail. You know, the Gokaiger symbols seem to have been taken out a lot of the toys. So there's a lot more paint, including the more rainbows on the wings, and the American version does not have that. Oop. Does not have that. Yeah. So it's a lot bigger. There's the Magi Ranger symbol, because I would suppose it is Magi Ranger in this instance. So obviously they're going to be a little smaller because the Megazord itself is on a smaller scale. But mostly the changes here are size, certain details, and a little paint detail. It's like this one's a little less bulky, and of course the Super Megaforce version accommodates the peg system. So let's combine it with the Legendary Megazord, and all right, let's do this. So let's take apart the Mystic Dragon first, and so we get the different parts. So you're gonna end up with 4 pieces. So the claws, the wings, and the little head. This guy. So open his chest, and this one actually works like the Japanese version, which was pretty awesome to me. You just fold it up and stuff it in there. It was giving me trouble, so you can fold the head down enough. And once you put the key in lock position, then it should lock everything together. Okay, so now that we got Mystic Dragon's little body inside there, then we can put the feet, the claw feet, which are these, and these go on the bottom of the sub and the crawler. Kind of like that. Dragon feet. Like that. And then there's one more thing, the wings. And with the wings, we're going to be taking a different approach than normal with the normal peg. So look to the side of the Jet and the Racer, and there's another peg that comes down right there. And I'll do that with the Racer as well. We can fix this back to normal. There we go. So look for the wing that sticks out like this, which will go here because it has a port. And you're going to just, these pegs do not stay up. There. Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing for the Jet. Okay, I'm having some trouble with these pegs. There. Okay. There we go. So, like I said, we stuck the little dragon in there, so he comes out like this. He didn't come out. Wow, okay. It's supposed to pop out like that. But it didn't. I don't know why, but it's supposed to do that, just like the Japanese version. So I'm going to bring up the Japanese version, Magi Gokaiger, I believe is what it's called, and we'll compare it, and then I'll show you what the Japanese version is. Okay, so here is Magi Gokaiger. Doesn't it look a little bare? Like you can't see that there's nothing on the outside yet. That's because you got to turn the dial on in the back, and everything pops out. So see, the Gokaiger version worked. I don't know why the American didn't work, but so yeah, that's what Magi Gokaiger looks like in the Japanese version, and like I said, these little flaps are open, and everything's actually inside there instead. Which do I prefer? I prefer the Legendary Megazord one because, first of all, because there's not the compartments for one, the size, but that's pretty much it. I prefer Gokaiger because other than that, because everything actually worked and popped out, and it was cool when it popped out, and the Legendary Megazord doesn't do that. So yeah, so there's one more, the Zeo Racer, and I will show you that. So the Zeo Racer is actually my favorite toy of the Super Megaforce lineup so far. because it's original. I actually thought I wouldn't like it at first because it's an original toy, but I actually like it now because it looks like the Red Battle Zord from Zeo, and Zeo's my favorite season. I was paying homage to the Red Zeo Ranger, obviously, so that's pretty cool. It is along the same lines of the mold of what's it called? The Delta Runner one. This one. It's basically the same mold, except they changed some things for SPD to Zeo. So, it's fairly easy to combine it. It's pretty much exactly the same as the the Delta Runner that I did in the beginning of the video. So if you'd like to know how to do that, then go back to the beginning of the video. But I'll show it to you. All right, so this is the Zeo Racer combined with the Legendary Megazord. So I'm fairly certain, 98% certain, we won't see this on TV. So this is a toy exclusive combination. So I think it's cool. The guns are fists from the Red Battle Zord, and the center looks great. This is my favorite combination so far. I think it's because it's original. And like I said earlier, normally I don't care for original swords and stuff like that. I don't buy them. Like, for example, I think there was a Spider Zord last time for Samurai, and I never bought that. I don't know why, I just don't want it. But Zeo looks like a great combination. So there is no Japanese version for me to show you, compare it with. So I guess that's cool. So altogether, what do I think about these three Zords? Like I said about Delta Runner, I am disappointed that it didn't follow more so after Patch Striker from Gokaiger. I know it's asking a lot for licensed sounds these days, but the Patch Striker that I have is awesome, and that was probably one of my best purchases. So that made me a little, and it's a little dinky compared to Patch Striker. Again, obviously I'm comparing stuff to Gokaiger as usual, but everything else, Mystic Dragon, that didn't really need it. They didn't take anything really necessary out. It's pretty much what works just as well as the Japanese version does. So that's fine with me. The Zeo Racer I absolutely love. I definitely recommend getting those. It is not being released again after this, I believe. So I know that this one is. Delta Runner is being re-released again. So get them now, especially the Zeo get them now. Of course, there are some paint issues, like there always are in these reviews especially when I compare them to the Japanese version. My major complaint right now was the pegs. I liked the pegs. I ended up starting to like them the way they work and the way they function. However, when putting them on certain tabs like this one or the ones on the legs or the arms, they bend too easily. As you could see, I fumbled a million times. So that was my only complaint, really. But I love them. They're at Toys R Us's right now. I'm not sure of any other stores. I'm assuming they will be at other stores soon. Yeah. So that's it for this review. I hope it was helpful. And stay tuned for my next video, which is going to be the review of the Red Lion Zord and all of its combinations with the Legendary Megazord and all that. So look forward to that. And all right, happy shopping.